Hey y'all, welcome back to Oma's Diary. I am Oma. Just in case you stumbled here, you are super welcome. Today, this is a follow-up video of the last video I just uploaded. Do check it out. This is the part 2 of 5 tips to a safer food. Yeah, so this is going to be tip 3. Tip number 3, yes. So we're starting from tip number 3, just in case you are interested in knowing what tip number 1 and 2 was. Please do check out the link up here for that video. Tip number 3 will be to cook thoroughly. Now it's important to know that there is a right temperature for which every food or most meals should be cooked in for it to be considered safe. So number 1 tip under cook thoroughly would be to make sure that your meats, poultry, seafood are all thoroughly cooked. I mean thoroughly cooked, not undercooked, not overcooked, but just thoroughly cooked at the right temperature. Now it's also important, as tip number 2 under the cooking thoroughly, to make sure that your soups and stews cook they really boil. They don't simmer. Your soup should not just simmer and then you're done. They need to boil at least at 70 degrees Celsius to make it safe for consumption. A good practice will be to make sure that all leftovers are consumed in about 3 days. And if you cannot consume it all in 3 days, just make sure you freeze them properly. Tip number 4 would be to keep food at safe temperatures. Now, how do we do this? You make sure that all cooked foods do not stay out on the table for more than 2 hours. Meaning, after you finish cooking, the meal prep. For me, after I cook your soup, your stew, your rice, your whatever, and you've safely apportioned them into containers and all that, the safe practice will be to make sure they do not sit out lying on your table for more than 2 hours. And you cannot also throw them into the fridge, because that way, immediately after cooking, because that way it's going to turn your freezers warm. It's going to just kind of melt every ice in your freezer, and then also cause the meals that are blocked or frozen to stand the risk of being contaminated too. So you need to make sure there is a safe period of after cooking your meals to keep them for at least 2 hours, not more than 2 hours, and you send it into your fridge. So the next point will be to refrigerate all of your meals properly. Yes, whether it is cooked or raw, you want to make sure that when you get back from either the market, that you put away everything that needs to be refrigerated properly at the right temperature in the right spot for it to stay safe. The next point will be that when serving your meals, you need to make sure your food is piping hot, at least at 60 degrees Celsius, before you serve it to people. You don't want to serve people a cold, blabby meal that has just been lying down there. That is a breeding zone for contamination, because when your food is cold, guys, and it's been lying down there, anything can perch on it. Flies cannot perch on hot meals. So it's just that's an example. I'm just giving you an example, because there is an adage that says that flies don't perch on hot stove. You get? So I'm just trying to apply it to the food, that if your food is piping hot, there ain't going to be any contamination in it. So make sure you serve your food very hot. The next point will be to not store food for too long in the refrigerator. Mommy, it's not a good idea, because the refrigerator is being opened and closed, and that opening and closing temperatures are fluctuating. It's not good for your food. Your meals will not be safe. It will be important that if you want to keep food for a long time, please put them or store them in the freezer part of your fridge, if you have a freezer part. And if you don't, for me, I have a freezer which is particularly for storing food and meat and other things for a longer period, and it's not usually open. it stays that way until I need to get something out of it. So make sure your meals are not stored for too long in your refrigerator. Please transfer them for a safer, healthier meals. Transfer those things to your freezer. This next tip, I have been guilty of this. We all have been guilty of doing this at one point or the other. And I believe just as I have changed, you are all going to change today. All right. The next tip is to make sure that you do not thaw frozen meals at room temperature. You're like, what does that mean, Oma? It means make you no carry your food we don't freeze. You know, bring that out. Come put it on top table. Yeah, those are two extreme temperatures. It means that if you need your food to defrost, sorry, international viewers, I just used vernacular to explain something. Okay, so it just simply means that the best thing to do when you need to defrost your meal is to bring your meal out of the freezer on time and put it in the refrigerator, like that part that does not really get cold. You know, getting it out of the freezer and dumping it on your table or somewhere in the kitchen that is probably very hot. Those are two temperatures, extreme temperatures. Another thing that you could do is if you are in a hurry, maybe you didn't have the time, you forgot to get the food out, is to put it under running cold water and keep it running that way. Just keep running cold water through it, and then gradually it will defrost, and then you can now start cooking. That's a very healthy and safe practice. So the final and last tip is to use safe water and raw materials. Under this point, the first thing is to understand that there are people who do not have access to clean, good water. So what can you do to make your water safe and clean is to make sure you treat it. You can easily treat it by boiling it. That is one safe practice that even I, at some point in my life, had to practice when I was not, when I didn't have my hands around very good, clean, safe water. I had to boil my water, then sieve it before using. So this is a practice that you can do to boil and treat your water before consumption or using it to cook. The next tip will be to select fresh and wholesome fruits and veggies when you are buying them, because what is it going to be if you go buying all spoiled veggies and fruits? It does not make sense. So make sure while you're shopping, the things that need to be green are green, the things that need to be red are red. They are not yellowish or looking all spoiled. And please, when you're buying your tomato, buy good tomatoes. Buy wholesome tomatoes, please. Thank you. Don't mind me, guys. So it's very important though to make sure that when you're buying your produce, that you buy wholesome, fresh looking, healthy fruits and veggies. That is where it starts. So the next tip would be to choose foods that have been, processed for safety. There are so many of them, e.g. would be pasteurized milk. Please, at any point you can, make sure you go for it. It is more safer and it is more wholesome for you. The next tip would be to also wash your fruits and vegetables. Wash them, brothers and sisters, especially if you're going to be eating it raw. We all know that we buy fruits and veggies on the road. There are times that you buy apples, you buy cucumbers, and then you just eat them that way. They ain't safe for you, baby. Please make sure you wash them thoroughly. And one good way to wash them would be to wash them with water and some white vinegar. It's very clean. It's going to take any germ or any preservative on them away, and it will be safe for you to eat raw. So please, before you eat your veggies or your fruits raw, please, baby girl, brother, wash them. Oh goodness. The last tip I have for you guys today. Have I been there before? Oh no, have I been there? Let's tell the truth. I think yes, I have been there before. But the last tip for keeping your food safe is, please do not consume food that have hit the expiry date or a day before your expiry date. Please. People say this one no dey kill African man. Please, brotherlies, brethren in the Lord, don't eat expired meals. Please, when you go to buy your produce, when you go to buy your food stock, especially things that come in cans, please don't just go to the shelves and pick and throw into the cart and then you go and pay. Please take your time. It's your money. Take your time. Look at expiry dates before you purchase things. You must make sure before you go out and purchase something else that you make sure you go through what you have. That way you will not have things piling up on you. You have like 10 tin tomatoes or you have 10 Nutellas, you've not opened them and they are all expired. Waste of money, resources, space, time. So it's important that before you go out to shop, take an inventory of what you have at home so you don't buy that same thing. That is one way that we end up with expired goods on our hands. So just take an inventory of what you have in your pantry or in your kitchen or in your fridge. Just make sure you take a comprehensive look at what you have around the house before you go shopping. And when you get to the shopping mall, please do not let anyone rush you. Take your time, look at the things you're buying that they have not expired. So you don't get home and you realize that you bought all expired goods. They might look cheap. In fact, the cheaper they are, you need to check it. You get those buy one get 3 free or buy one get 20 free. Usually they are close to the expiry date or something. It's not moving. It might be that it's not expired but it's not moving or something. So just make sure you arm yourself with these information so that you're not buying expired goods. I hope you have learned a lot from this video and our previous video, and every resources I have shared in the last video and in this video I got from the World Health Organization, and the link for this information is going to be in my description box below. So if you're interested in finding out more about this resource, please check the description box below and you will be well informed. Just in case you have any questions also, or things that you would like to just share. Do you have other safe practices that you have picked up along the way as a cook, a chef, or a food handler? Please, let's talk in the comment box below. I would like to hear from you guys and we can just share more ideas. You know, nobody is the captain of informations. We all learn every day, and every day we pick from each other, and I believe there's something I can learn from you. There's something you have learned from me today. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up so I know that I can make more of this kind of informative videos for your well-being. Now, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Now, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, this will be the right time to hit that red button. Just hit it, and then the bell sign will also pop up beside it. Hit it for the notification bell to come on so that you'll get notified as my VIP for every video I upload. Thank you guys so much for loving me and for supporting this channel. We are a big family. We are growing, and I can't wait to see you in our next video. Don't forget to share, like, and like I said, comment below. I'm waiting for you in the comment box. I'll see you in my next video. This is Oma signing out. Bye.